Let me talk to you a little bit about roses, or the challenge of growing roses, or the really serious challenge of growing roses organically. A lot of people are daunted by the prospect. They think it's fraught with issues, particularly disease and pests. It ain't necessarily so. There are strategies you can employ, methods, being careful about what varieties you select as per what does well for your area, that can help you have a successful rose planting. And again, it doesn't matter, as with fruit trees, if it's 1, 10, 100, or 1,000. The principles are about the same. And I would strongly recommend, whether it's 1, 10, 100, or 1,000, that you grow roses. The dividends are like huge. The challenges, yeah, they're not inconsiderable, and yet. And you sort of have to have a certain mindset when you grow roses. You need to be a glass half full individual. And maybe, to invoke an old phrase, you need to be able to accept the good with the bad, for better and for worse, in sickness and health. And there will be times, even if your care is skilled and spot on, that the roses will look, well, maybe like a photos from a disease textbook. And it's just about the weather. If it's cool and wet, you're going to have problems. If it's warm and muggy, you're going to have problems in that regard. Not insoluble ones, but problems like that. So can you take it, the good with the bad, like that? One good thing about, well, there are many good things about roses, of course, but one good thing is that they are bouncy, resilient. They can be, as it were, down in the dumper, and you can bring them back in short order, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and you wouldn't know what they looked like previously. So what we're going to try to do here in a bunch of chapters, installations, is hopefully it'll be a thriller, a page turner like that. Show you a roadmap of the year in roses, an almanac of roses throughout the year. What happens when? What do you do to get in there and facilitate that? And we'll just take it incrementally through the year. Standing here adjacent to 2 roses, 2 lovely roses, a hybrid tea rose. The variety is called Just Joey. And they are, I have to admit, I am head over heels in love with all roses that are warm orange, apricot-y, peachy, salmon colored. Dangerously so. And Just Joey fits into that category. It's a warm kind of peachy salmon hybrid tea. It's got that perfect florist ovoid bud like that. Scads and scads of flowers, huge petals. And when it opens, it has fluted edges to the petals. Scent, like a lot of these peachy, salmon-y colored ones, and yellow roses as well, is way in the direction of citrus. It's a nice rose in the garden on the plant, a really nice rose in the vase in the house. So I have 2 Just Joeys here, and you'll see in between this large leafy plant here, this is a foxglove, Digitalis purpurea, and it ain't just any foxglove. I'm fond of, again, head over heels in love with, a strain of foxgloves called the Dalmatian strain. And it's about the speckles on the petals of the tubular blooms. And it comes in a white, which is nice, and a purple, which is great, but it comes in a dreamy peach color too. And this idea of interplanting between the roses, a single line of foxgloves here, is one, again, it pays a bunch of dividends. It covers and protects the ground, yes, sure, doesn't interfere with the rose growth, no. And it gives you a nice vertical element when these bloom shortly, spring into early summer. It's kind of got the mounded shape of the rose and the kind of upright vertical nature of the spikes of the foxglove here. But let's zero in on one of these Just Joeys here. Again, this is a rose just beginning its 2nd year. These roses were stuck, well, they were actually gently planted into the ground a year ago, January. It's April the 5th today. They grew and established quite quickly, unlike fruit trees. You plant a bare root fruit tree, you tend it, TLC, 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to get a crop, fruit. You plant a rose, TLC again, and you'll have a fully established shrub by and large, blooming by June from a January planting, and you're off and running. You're basically at full canopy within the first 5-6 months like that. A good bush rose will live 50, 75 years or longer. So, pretty quick turnaround on your investment here. So I've got a hybrid tea, Just Joey, and the training of roses is to a very simple open center form. 3, 4, 5, 7, 9 primary canes. Cane is rose talk for branch. So let's take a look at the structure of this rose bush. Again, open center is your preferred form. The number of canes or branches you have is somewhat variable, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's important is they go up and out into the sunlight. They have good spacing and also a structure that facilitates good, not just sunlight, but air circulation in the center to minimize disease issues. So, we're looking at this beautiful Just Joey hybrid tea. We've got one cane here. Number 2 over here, a third one over in this direction, and number 4 is here. Again, up and out. And then let's look a little more at how we got here. The shrub was planted a year ago, January, it's April, and the second year we pruned it in January. Here is the pruning wound, the stub from our January cut, and this is the resultant growth. Voila, a rosebud. I am in anticipation of a nice salmon-y, peachy Just Joey hybrid tea here. And let me just also add into the mix here, if you do nothing else to your roses, and I'm really hoping you do a lot more to your roses, prune them. Prune them once a year in the winter and prune them hard, taking off as much or slightly more than half of last year's growth. General axiom, the harder you prune something back, the longer and stronger the regrowth. And it's a little bit about, again, projecting out into the sunlight, but it's also about a nice strong cane stem that gives rise to a big bloom. Roses bloom, as we see here, apically at the tip of current season's growth. So your hard pruning cuts in the winter beget long, strong canes topped by luscious, big, sweet roses.